Imagine getting killed by a man you meet on Facebook, all because he felt entitled to your own money. This is a very upsetting story about a young woman named Amdalat Hafiz, who they said met a man named Bolarinwa on Facebook, a 35-year-old man, and they got along, vibed, and it was even said they became attracted to each other. They lived in the same state in Oyo State, and subsequently it was said they got to see each other in person multiple times. Almost 5 times. And I think this is where the precedence for what was going to happen was laid. Because usually back in the day when the social media became popular, for someone to lose their life by someone else they met online, all they have to do is chat, get familiar, and once they invite you over, you're robbed, killed, or sexually assaulted. But these days, people have wisened up. Just the same way people are now becoming smart, these perpetrators are also becoming just as smart. They no longer strike on the first day. They wait, see you multiple times to gain that trust. It's all about the trust. So Amdalat Hafiz was said to be an entrepreneur. She dealt in meat. She sold cow skin for a living. And Bolarinwa, they said, was an aluminium fabricator, some sort of blacksmith that worked in construction buildings and anywhere that has to do with constructing a building. Amdalat was an independent woman who most possibly maybe lived alone and was single as at the time of making this story, presumably. They said she traveled a lot. Some sources even claimed she had just returned from Libya, made money, and started this business. Now, it's not clear if Bolarinwa was married. Some sources claim he was married and already had a wife and a child. And I think this would only come out after the whole thing had blown up. It's not clear when they met online. And it's most likely Facebook, given their age. So I'm assuming they just started chatting and, getting fond of each other, liking each other's posts, commenting, and eventually get into each other's DMs. Then they scheduled to meet in Ibadan. Multiple times they said they met. Multiple times, maybe at her place or his place. And I'm guessing since they met multiple times, there is a possibility that they might have been romantic. It's not clear, it's not stated, but there is that chance. I mean, these are grown-up adults who know what they want. And if one is single and one is posing to be single, it is possible that there is that space and possibility that they may have hooked up at some point. Should play a role in how much Bolarinwa would expect Amdalat to trust him. So for weeks, for months, they met, they chatted, they hung out, they spent time getting to know each other. This was looking like a relationship. So somewhere along the line, in July of 2024, Bolarinwa, while at work in a construction site, invited Amdalat over, telling her that he has people who wants to buy cow skin. He has people who wants to buy pomo, that she should come with her business, that there are people in his construction site that would patronize her. And this was good business for Amdalat, who fell for it, came over, maybe came with some of her samples, and I'm not sure if it's those ones that has to do with the meat you have to eat or the actual supply of it, that's, the retail of cow skin. But I'm thinking that is it. So Amdalat comes over to the construction site expecting to see new business partners, but she met no one. And then she confronts Bolarinwa and like, okay, where are the people you said want to buy the cow skin? I'm here for it. And Bolarinwa was like, sorry, I lied. I actually just wanted to see you because, I need 2 million naira. So now let's go back a little. Before this invitation, it was said that Bolarinwa had already started requesting money from Amdalat. He would borrow a few, those tiny bits, 4K, 2K, urgent 2,000 naira, those tiny change that he would request once a while. And maybe he also gave her money too from time to time. One of those things to build her trust. Because for what is coming, he is going to need to build trust on her. And I think that was what he was doing the whole time they met online and the whole time they met in person. So it is possible and it is believed and it is claimed that before they met in that construction building, in the claims of her finding new business partners, Bolarinwa had requested the sum of 2 million naira from Amdalat. And it is possible that Amdalat had maybe giving him a hint or promised him a little bit that she would maybe raise it, find it, and give it to him. So that request had been made for the 2 million naira. And Bolarinwa is expecting it, and maybe Amdalat is somewhere in her mind trying to raise it. Because that's the thing with women who are in their later ages and are still single. When they tend to see potential spouse in men, they are easy targets to be misled, deceived, and taken advantage of. We've seen this multiple times. So I won't be surprised if Amdalat herself was also equally trying to raise money to support this man who had requested 2 million naira from her. 2 million naira, that is her entire business crumbling. It's not clear what he wanted to do with it, but Bolarinwa just wanted it. And so, days or weeks after requesting the money, he hadn't gotten it. That was when Bolarinwa invited Amdalat over to the construction site where he was working, under the guise that people wanted to buy cow skin from her. And that was how she fell for it and came over and found out that there was nobody who wanted to buy cow skin from her. So why did you call me here? Amdalat would ask Bolarinwa, since you say that people wanted to buy something from me, where are the people? And if they are not here, then what is all of this for? If you wanted to see me, you could come to my house. If you wanted to hang out or hook up, we know where we usually do this. So what was the purpose of luring me here under the guise of buying from my business, whereas nobody really wanted to patronize me? And that was when Bolarinwa was like, oh, I didn't call you here for that. I'm sorry. I just called you for the 2 million naira. And Amdalat was confused. I'm like, what is this? Even thinking about itself, I'm confused. Even if I promised you money, why do you have to lure me in a place where you want to get it from? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's not as if I'm owing you the money. It's not as if I stole or borrowed from you. You asked for, and I said I would find and see what I can do. And now you're luring her into an uncompleted building with fake pretense that somebody wanted to buy something from her. And you're only now requesting the money you requested that she said that she would give you when she finds. So according to the story, when Amdalat realized that Bolarinwa had only lured her here to request the money she may have promised or not promised him, she was offended. She felt stupid. She was like, well, this is a waste of time. Most likely scolded him, which I would do if I was in her shoes. Also maybe called him out. And that was how it was said they went back and forth, exchanging words until Bolarinwa felt insulted or offended and then hit her with a stick. And when he did hit her with a stick, he realized he had fucked up. And rather than apologize, help her up, he said to himself, now that I've hit this woman, she knows my face. She knows where I stay. She's not going to forgive me. She will call police to come and harass me. What will I do? And he thought of the master idea, the smartest and the greatest idea ever, to kill her. How stupid can he be? Bolarinwa claimed that after he hit her, he got scared that she would find policemen to his house, and so he decided to finish her off completely. It's not clear what he did or how he killed her, but he did. He killed her, found a way to drag her body to dump somewhere else away from his site, because obviously he's still working in that building. If a body is found there, we know the entire construction building will be shut down and it will be easily traced to him. So he dragged the body out of the construction building and dumped it somewhere in the streets, hoping that somebody else will find it and it will be somebody else's problem. I guess this was early hours in the morning, so he didn't even have enough time to get rid of the body. And by the time he started using sand to cover the blood trails, it was already daybreak and people were already seeing it. People had seen her body and followed the blood trail to catch him pouring sand on it. And that was when they knew that he was the one who had killed the woman they had seen. He was in the process of hiding his tracks. Passerby who saw her quickly went on to trail the blood from where she was dragged from. And that was when they caught him in the process of hiding his tracks. And unfortunately for him, they quickly pounced on him. He was caught, arrested, and instantly started confessing as to what he had done. If he wasn't in charge of constructing in that site, if he wasn't maybe if it was a fake site or somewhere else that he wasn't working on, he would have most likely gotten away with it. Just leave her there and it would be someone else's problem. But he knew that he had been given a project there. So if a lifeless woman's body is found there, it will be definitely linked to him, especially if they already know each other before. So that was why it was important for him to get rid of her. And I also think because of that fact, he maybe did not plan to kill her as he claimed. However, I can see why people would doubt, because it does not make sense that somebody promised you money, rather than wait till whenever you lure them into an uncompleted building and you end up killing them. So it's hard to trust and believe that this was not premeditated. It's hard to. In his confession, he claimed when he struck her with the wood, she even started begging for her life. It meant that this woman knew what she was up for. This woman had met a devil on the internet who turned out to be a bigger monster than anyone would imagine. Over what? Over money that you asked from her and she promised to help find for you. It's not even money she owed you or money she borrowed from. It's not even money that you yourself, Bolarinwa, had taken. If it was something that, okay, you had already collected the money from her and you're unable to pay and you're trying to hide your tracks, your crime would be familiar. But this is just stupid in all ramification. You just wasted this woman's life because of something that she offered, volunteered to help you. And she even thought that you had brought businesses for her that she would add up and give you the money, only to find out that you are just being a stupid, entitled man who felt like you met a woman online and so therefore you're entitled to her money. A single woman who is doing her own business. The way some men think sometimes is beyond par. There are some men who just feel like a woman shouldn't be richer than them. When they see a woman who is more successful, they get angry, feel entitled to her wealth. Bolarinwa Segilogbon is just another example of how a lot of deadbeat entitled men think out there. And I hope that many more women watching this video will be a lot more careful, because some of these men come in with the biggest seduction ever. They have their move, they have their tactics. It's no longer how it used to be back in the day of Facebook and 2go, when they will meet and instantly, the moment you go and visit them, they strike. These days, some of these corny, deadbeat men take their time. They build trusts. And part of building trust include them giving you money. They will give you money. They will send you money. They will take you out. They will invite you to big hotels to show you that they have money, to show you that they are good. They will drive fake cars that belong to someone else just to pose. And these women will fall for it. These women will think, oh, they've met a jackpot. They've met a well-to-do man. And somewhere along the line, this man will call you up and be like, oh my God, baby, can I borrow 2 million or 5 million or 10 million from you? I'll give you back. You know, I'm in an urgent situation. And in that moment, these women will be like, wait, this man has a car, takes me to good hotels, buys me things. So these women would think about all the good things and all the money that this man had already spent on them, not knowing that it was their plan all along. It was all their plan from the get-go. And then they fall for it, find a way to raise this money because they want to show that they are wife material. They want to show that they are a good life partner. And then they send this man the money to borrow, thinking that they are capable of paying back because they've been made to believe that these men are well-to-do. And that is it. That is how you've been defrauded. And maybe if they hope on continuing a relationship with you and you keep asking for the money, you risk getting killed like Amdalat. You risk getting ended. Sometimes these men don't even disappear after they've collected the money they request from you. They still stay around because you probably know their name, know their houses, because that's part of building the trust. It's just unfortunate that this had to happen to Amdalat, and hopefully justice is served and Bolarinwa faces the full extent of the law. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification button so whenever there's a new video, you'll be the first to get notified.